So one of the big things here, just to kind of give like an overview for job updates for these companies, is like Peloton. I know that's one of your favorite companies. Clearly they have their own that incredible proprietary IP. Treadmills like very innovative, right?
I'll
Treadmills
tell
are
you
very
this.
innovative, right?
Every one of those gym companies, those you know, Beachbody, Peloton, they all go bankrupt. They're all nonsense. It's a commodity. There's nothing special to it. Like, you think you can make a bicycle better than the next guy? No, you can't. All bicycles are the same. It's going to be the one that can make it the cheapest. It's going to win. They're not
It's
anything
it's
special.
all about it's all about not with these companies. It's all about not trying to reinvent the wheel. What they try to do that makes it proprietary is they try to make it so that you're in like a group setting or a group class, right? And that's what led the stock to boom during the lockdown, because at its peak, like during the lockdown. First of all, the lockdown was a black swan. No one saw that shit coming. No one knew it was going to last as long as it did, right? But even with that considered, there's not a big market for Peloton, because who wants to sit there and join the stupid Peloton class for the treadmill or the bike when you could just go to a gym and you have that same social experience, right? Or you could, literally you could do what I did. You have your laptop, right? And then you're like, okay, I have my treadmill that folds up. And then you build a laptop stand, and then you can go on your laptop while you're on the treadmill. Like I edit when I'm on treadmill. I do other shit when I'm on treadmill. Like, why would I ever pay $1,000 for a fucking mounted bike when I could build, if I wanted, I could build my own mounted bike. Like, you know how easy that is? It's a joke. If Even if you didn't want to build one because it'd be like ghetto as fuck looking, you could literally buy a mounted bike for like $300, $400. Like there's no reason to spend 3 times as much, and then you have to pay for these stupid classes. There's nothing proprietary about building a treadmill or building a bike. Like there's nothing that's that different than what I have. So it's the silliest thing in the world, and rightfully so. Now we're starting to see that the valuation's coming back down to reality. Stock's trading at $10 a share, and at one point it was well over 100. And people are starting to realize, oh, this is a tchotchke company, and they've got all this Kazurai that they sell, and it's not worth it. Like the valuation's still even at $10 a share is ridiculous. Peloton is not a $3 billion company. Peloton is, it's a growth company, and people are still valuing it at this ridiculous valuation. The stock should be trading at $1 or $2 a share, and that's it. There's no growth prospect. There's no reason to even buy the stock. It's just a joke.
Yeah, I mean Peloton is a complete joke, but they did pivot from the original business model when the new CEO Barry McCarthy took over. He's a good CEO. I think he was like the CFO of Netflix and Spotify at one point, and he's like a big finance guy, and he's pivoting away from the bikes, which is a very smart move, and he's going more into the software side. So he's going to have an open platform where people can basically run their own classes, and then Peloton's going to basically take a commission off of the classes that the people run. So it has potential in that regard, but as you said, it's not a $3 billion company. The valuation has to come down. And if Peloton has any chance of surviving, they have to basically pivot to this software model where they have people run classes, and then they get a commission off of it. And they should be going to every influencer, every gym influencer and such, and just getting them to sign up to run these classes. Because if you're a big gym influencer on YouTube or such, they should be sponsoring these people and having them run the classes, giving them a little bit of startup capital, or marketing dollars up front to market their classes, push them on their platform, give them another revenue stream. We see ad rates are down, so like some of these creators could use extra money in these tough times as ad rates get cut, and give people a way to make money and grow with the brand of Peloton. And if you do good by other people and you make them money, then they're going to make you money and be willing to give you a commission off of their gym class sales. And you kind of build this ecosystem, and you get economies of scale. And just like Facebook, Twitter, and all these other companies, you get this like this social media effect, and then it booms. So they gotta like try and pivot to that if they want to ever secede and prevent themselves from going bankrupt. If they keep doing this bicycle model and this gym equipment model, they're going to go, because what happens is, the problem with a lot of these gym companies is, you buy the bicycle, whatever it is, or the treadmill, for $1,500, $2,000, right? And a lot of people, they're just fat cells. We live in America. They're fat. They're not going to use it. It becomes a dry cleaning rack. And then what do the people do that bought your product? They sell your product, and they sell it for 25%. So now you're competing against all these people that you previously sold the product to that are not using the product. And now you're basically competing with them, and they're selling it for 500. And the thing is, like, shiny clean, it's new, so people are going to buy the product used, and then off of Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, whatever, and they're not going to buy your new product. So it's a game that, it's not worth playing. The hardware game is extremely competitive, and you're competing against your own customers, and you're not going to get anywhere doing that. So I think this guy Barry McCarthy could turn the company around, but still the valuation has to come down at least 50% from here for it to be an attractive investment.
Yeah, I mean, and I've been talking about Schrodinger ad nauseum at this point, but it's a little ridiculous that Peloton has a higher valuation than Schrodinger. I mean, Schrodinger has better, growth prospects and growth potential long term, especially in a sense of like negotiating equity in these other companies and other partnerships or drug discovery that they have. But I don't want to talk too much about Schrodinger because I've been hyping the fuck out of it. But if I'm Peloton, I'm going to all the YouTubers, right? Because we're starting to see, like you said, we're starting to see advertising spending come down, which ultimately affects YouTube's revenue, and it'll affect their bottom line, which means that that's less money that gets paid out to creators. So if I'm Peloton, I'm paying, I want people like Summer Rae, I want Brad Martin, I want maybe Logan Paul or like KSI, any sort of like person who's good physical shape, that's like a good representation of what the brand sort of entails, and anyone who lives pretty much like an active lifestyle, who's very well known and has a large push. And maybe you can get some of these people, hopefully you get some of these people on a brand, not even just like a brand deal, but some type of partnership. Maybe you give them equity or whatever the case may be. But those are the people you really want to target, especially people who are sort of into that sort of like lifestyle athletic brand, and have built their channel around that entirely.
Yeah, and I think that's what they're trying to do. And the guy was the previous CFO of Netflix and Spotify, and you see the networking effect that those two companies have and how they grew. So I think he's got a good head on his shoulders, and I think he's going to attack this. And I think Peloton has a chance in the long run, but I think they're screwed right now. I wouldn't look into investing in that company anytime soon. You have to see like the big names come on, like the Hodge twins, CT Fletcher, or whatever, as you said, Bradley Martin. All those people have to sign up first, and you have to see some
Summer
real
Rae too. You gotta get Summer Rae. You need a girl that's very active, that people like, that's very smart, and
you got to get the glute models.
You got to get her. You got to get Jen Selter too. You got to get all those girls.
Power to the glutes. That's right. You got to get those models. That's going to attract the simps on your platform. There's a great networking effect when it comes to simps.